Hi, it's Chris Watkin here with the MD Ben from Keller Williams. Ben, tell me a bit about Keller Williams.
So it started out in America, and 34 years ago with a chap called Gary Keller. It's pretty unusual and certainly a pretty remarkable fellow. They created an enormous amount of success over 25 years.
Okay.
And then Gary decided that it would be a good idea to take that model to the rest of the world. And so the first thing he did was fire himself as the CEO, which is a pretty unusual step for somebody who's built such an amazing company. But he figured that he doesn't ever go outside of the US, so he's not really the guy to take it around the world. And then over 5 years, they've now taken it to 29 countries, to 180,000 people. They built it into the #1 training company in the world, not in the industry, but in the world.
What, training estate agents or just training full stop?
As a training organisation, it's now ranked the #1 in the world.
Who gave it that ranking?
Training magazine in the US.
Okay.
So it now outranks Google as a training company, and that's kind of a bench because we kind of figured Google are pretty good at this stuff. And we've got about 3,500 coaches, master coaches in the US and around the world.
Okay.
And 180,000 people now. So it grows by 3,000 people a month.
So are you estate agents or coaches? Or both?
It's a whole mix. There's lots and lots of agents, lots of coaches. Most of the coaches are agents also. Not all, but most. Okay. And then of course you've got, as we discussed, Chris, there's lots of different roles in the business in terms of there's people that buy franchises. They're the ones that own market centres. But really the whole model is based around how do we give everything that the individual needs in terms of training, technology, coaching, facilities, everything that they need to be able to go and build their own business.
So it's just another franchise then, is it? Like your Martin and Co's, your Belvoirs, your Northwoods and Winkworths and things like that.
So my view on this is it's unusual in lots of respects. One of the respects is this is the only one that I know that seems to go under a business rather than over a business.
Okay.
So lots of those brands that you just mentioned
Great
there.
firms, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great firms.
So they'll put their brand above the door. Our brand does not go above the door. Our brand goes underneath the person, underneath the business.
What? So you don't have to have the word Keller Williams over the proverbial door?
No. Our job is not to...
So could I set up Chris Watkin Estate Agents?
Powered by Keller Williams.
Powered by...
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't have to have your branding if I don't want to?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so come on, what about this franchise? How does the model work?
It's a real content model in terms of it's not brand in the box. What you get when you come into Keller Williams are systems, models, technology, and the training. So what I mean by that
But I get that with the others, don't I?
Not like this.
Okay, tell me more.
So effectively, if you want to run a 3.5-hour marathon, let's say, you need a system and a process to follow to do that.
As you can tell, I'm an athlete myself.
Well, so, yeah, whatever your thing might be, but you'll need a model to follow.
Yes,
yeah? And
a strategy.
What our business does says, there's your model for that. What do you want to build? I want to build a really big real estate company. Here's a model for doing that. I want to be a single person operating my own business. I want to do it part-time, but I'd like to do a few deals a year. We've got a model for that. But effectively, what we start with is say to the individual, the model you're currently following, is it giving you the outcome that you want?
Yes.
And the majority of the time I ask that question to somebody, they'd say, no. Okay, well, what's the difference? And they'll tell me, and then we'll define a model for them. So it's a really practical way to say, this is how a roadmap for you to get from where you are now to where you want to get to.
Okay, maybe in another video we can go into a lot more detail on this model or roadmap. Sure. But coming back is, what exactly do you get for your money? I mean, how much does it cost?
So if we're talking about an agent joining, yes. So I'm a branch manager, let's say, working in another corporation, and I want to start my own.
I mean, the average with the others, 20, 30 grand, and then a percentage of your turnover. So how much?
Right. So those individuals need to pay around about £200 plus VAT, and they can then
£200.
£200 plus VAT, and we will get them set up with everything they need to be able to start trading as an agent.
Okay, but what do I get from £200 a month?
£200 up front, and then about £100 a month plus VAT.
So for £100 a month, I get my Rightmove account.
Yeah. So you use so in each market centre or hub, I think you've referred to it.
I
as
call
a
them
hub.
hubs. You call them market centres.
Hub's good. We can run with hub. That's fine. So in that you have a physical place to work if that's what you want.
Yes.
You don't have to. You can work from home. You do what you like.
We're in London, central London at the moment, and I know an awful lot of your agents work in London, but I know there's plenty that work outside the M25.
Sure, yeah.
They come in here probably once or twice a week, but then the rest from their kitchen table.
Whatever they like. Absolutely.
So
Because it's flexible.
So there doesn't have to be a Keller Williams in their town for this to work?
No. So all our training, everything that we run, so we're sitting in one of the training rooms, right? So anything that we run it through a webinar as well. So there's your kitchen table thing,
Yes.
I'll just stick it on the laptop, and then you'll get my ugly mug training you on what we're going to do in that particular session.
Right, so for £200 up front and £100 a month,
Yeah.
I get training.
Yeah. Technology. You get your CRM system,
Yeah.
plus all the other technology that we now provide.
And my
for-
portal costs.
Yes. Yeah.
Where's the catch?
Well, it's not the catch would be is you're now, if you call it a catch, is these guys and girls have to make the transition from having a basic salary, albeit in our industry a small one, Chris.
Yes.
But they'd have to make the transition because you don't do that. You don't get a basic salary. It's your business, right? So no one's going to pay you a basic because it's yours.
Okay.
So what you'd have to do is say, and I'll briefly cover the numbers. So each transaction. So 10% of that fee goes to Keller Williams.
So let's say we've got a fee of say £5,000.
Yeah.
Nice round.
So
£500 of that's going to
Keller
head
Williams.
office. Yeah.
Then there'll be the 90% remaining.
Yes.
70% of that.
So £4,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stays. Well, of that 4,500.
Yeah.
70% of that goes to the agent. Stays
Yes.
with the agent.
Yep.
And then they'll pay 30% to the market centre, and that covers all the costs of the training, the technology.
So
all
the
that
agent will get to keep that 3,132 because I haven't got my calculator.
something
on me.
like that. Yeah.
And the principal of the hub gets the other £1,500 or so.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, once the agent, this is really key as well, we have something called a cap in our business. So once the agent has contributed to that capping level, so in central London that's £60,000, because obviously it's
a year, a month?
a year,
Yes.
in a calendar year. Let's say in Glasgow, we've got a market centre in Glasgow, it's 23,500 in Glasgow.
Costs are
It's
lower.
obviously different. But once the agent's contributed that amount, they keep the 90%.
They keep the...
They keep the 90%.
So what's in it in for the... But then what's in it for the principal to help grow their agent?
Well, if you can imagine, if you have 200 agents working out of one market centre, paying 30% up to
Yes. Oh,
up
that's
to
a
the
lot of
cap,
money.
it's
Yeah.
a lot of money. But don't forget this: the business is built, and we always say that it's business built by agents for agents. So the objective of the exercise in Keller Williams is not for owners of market centres to make a lot of money. They do make a lot of money if you own a market centre and run it well, but the whole purpose of our business is to help the agent be successful. That's the point of Keller Williams. And in truth, Chris, that's the reason it grows as quickly as it grows, because it's not designed... I often do, if we had the board right next to me, I draw a pyramid, yeah? So at the top of the pyramid is a CEO. In a traditional business in the UK,
Yes.
CEO is the guy or girl that earns the most money,
Yep.
and all of these people either aspire to get up that ladder or not, but there's only one, okay? Ours is like a reverse. So you imagine an inverted pyramid where people like Ben Taylor, they sit at the bottom now, and all they do is provide all the people at the top with everything they need to run a great business and have the success they want. So it's very unusual in that regard.
Maybe in the next video, because I know you wouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. You were very, very senior in Countrywide. Maybe in the next video we can talk about what you've learned in estate agency and how that has helped you grow Keller Williams and the team around you. How's that sound?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's do that next video.
Be very
Thank
happy
you.
to do that.
Cheers. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Chris.